Just before I start, I want to say a massive thank you to Richard for asking me to be his best man. I was completely honoured until he told me that the only reason he chose me was because I had less dirt on him than any of his friends. And not because he likes me more.
Honesty between brothers.
I'm hoping I can now prove how wrong he is about the dirt. Richard was born on March 21st, 1979. I wasn't alive, but from what I hear, the first 2 years were a glorious time in the life of Richard. He enjoyed undivided attention, shared his food with no man, and lived the life of a barbarian. He was the untouchable, most glorious ruler and king of all he surveyed. Nice moustache, Dad. Now, Mum and Dad were young, inexperienced parents who were clearly not ready to raise a child like Richard. He soon dominated and overwhelmed them. They made many mistakes in his upbringing. Leaving Richard unwatched upstairs in a room that contained both scissors and bed sheets. Mistake. Leaving Richard alone in the garden long enough for him to remove all of his clothes and bury them. Mistake.
That's really good.
As you can see from this handy graph, Richard was left unwatched, directly correlated with the level of destruction and nudity he attained. It wasn't long until Mum and Dad realised they had an angel-faced devil child. At this point they had just two options. One, attempt to reverse engineer all the terrible mistakes they've made in raising him. This would be a lengthy and costly process with no guaranteed results. Or two, they could learn from the experience of their errors and raise a new improved. Mum and Dad found out they were expecting me. Here is how Richard reacted to the news. On the 10th of August 1981, I entered the world. As you can see, I was a sweet, angelic child wrapped in a blanket of innocence. My evil brother, however, soon let it be known that I wasn't welcome, and throughout my childhood made numerous attempts to kill me. I quickly realised my vulnerability to attack and took the necessary measures to protect myself. At times this required full combat attire and weaponry. It was clear that Richard had many advantages over me. He was bigger, faster, stronger, more experienced, And he had the top bunk, which in battle terms meant he controlled the higher ground. Then in his teens things got even worse for me when Mum and Dad sent him off for military training with the Air Training Cadets. This was my worst nightmare, as it meant he could now also attack from a glider. But it turns out, the moment that Mum and Dad named us, Richard was always destined to be the dominant male. Here, as you can see, his name literally means Rick, ruler, leader, king, hard, strong, brave. He is Hard Rick, the powerful leader. Whereas Mum and Dad decided to name me Paul, which means small. In the late 1980s, Mum and Dad bought us a piano and we both began learning. However, it soon became apparent that Hard Rick was just too manly for Baroque-era classical piano. In 1989, whilst living in Hamburg, Germany, Richard found a more expressive art form to vent his urban flow. This is why Richard made a terrible mistake in asking me to be his best man.
Oh, God, no, please, not this.
Here we are in Hamburg, 1989. He let people know it in such a good time. Machine and monster toys. Dad and Paul and I can make some serious noise. Serious noise!
I've waited 22 years.
Revenge is sweet.
As I'm sure you're not surprised by this, Richard's rap career brought numerous female admirers. Suddenly, Richard was more than just a boy. He was a bad boy chick magnet who could wear sunglasses and The date offers began rolling in. Here is Richard on his first date. As you can see, he is both fashionable and completely at ease with himself. Sadly, when things ended between these two, Richard was left devastated and in the emotional trauma vowed never to rap again. Instead, he turned to the guitar. It was the 90s and grunge music was all the rage. Richard underwent a complete image overhaul. Growing and dyeing his hair to be just like his heroes, Nirvana, Pearl Jam and Hanson. For my brother though, the hair was not enough. He wanted a total rebranding and this meant the biggest change of all. It was time to say goodbye to the name Richard. I think I can speak for the whole family. It was a surprise when we heard the new choice, as he chose to go from Hard Rick, the powerful leader, to Melon, a fruit. For Richard though, his image makeover was nearly complete. He had the guitar, he had the hair, and he had a memorable name. Now he just needed a band, and an awesome set of pimped out wheels. Suddenly the ladies were all over him again. One young beauty stood head and shoulders above the crowd. In 1998, he bagged himself a keeper. And luckily for Richard, she even liked facial hair and gliders. So for the last section of the speech, well, this is dedicated to Richard's ability to take his time and avoid change. In silver medal position at a dizzying 15 years, It's Richard and Maya's home. As you can see from this artist's impression, it is a whimsical place. I've been renting there since the days of yore. But the clear gold medal winner at a startlingly epic 27 years, it's Richard as a student. Richard's ability to stay in education was nothing short of groundbreaking. His studies spanned 4 decades. As law students and heart surgeons graduated all around him, Richard continued moving from course to course, racking up more and more qualifications. What a beauty. When he eventually and finally graduated Cambridge University, he was the most decorated student in British history. And then, just for a laugh, he got a career as a teaching assistant, which required absolutely no qualification. When Richard and Maya began dating in the last millennium, the world was a very different place. As you can see, there were no smartphones or Facebook. It's actually a world that Richard still inhabits today. But I believe that they've lasted this long because they're both lovely people, and more importantly, because Maya must be earth-shatteringly patient. I couldn't think more highly of Maya. She's smart, funny, pretty, and brilliantly straight-talking. She and Richard are going to be lovely parents to baby Thomas. And as for Richard, for all the destruction, nudity, and torment I've spoken of, he's grown into a brilliant man, and I feel very lucky to have him as a brother. I realise now, all those years spent attacking me weren't an attempt to kill me at all. He was in fact training me and honing me into the rugged Indiana Jones type you see before you. Looking back over it all, I'm sure Richard can be very proud of his life so far. He has a good home, a very cute son, a fulfilling career, and now he's done something that every man aspires to do. He's married a girl a lot hotter and wealthier than himself.